Alright, so we're going to jump right into this with Law 3. Always conceal your intentions. Deep down inside, we often sense... Well, let me not read that. I'll do that in a minute, okay? So, concealing your intentions, a simple way to think about it, and I tell you the simplest way that most people have heard about, so that what I say helps the most of you, okay? When you get too specific, or when I get too specific, it's tailored for an individual. When I say something like poker face, you probably know what poker face is. So, concealing your intentions is like using your poker face. So, obviously, if I'm smiling here, you're probably going to be like, oh, he's happy, okay? If I'm like, you're going to be like, oh, he's angry. But if I'm just like, you don't know. You can't read. So you're concealing your intentions. So you need to become aware of your face, your body, so that you can conceal your intentions properly. Okay? So what you need to do is blend in with those around you. Okay? It's like, what's a good example? Let's say you walked into a Walmart and you had a jail suit on. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. People are probably going to be worried, okay? So you're not going to be able to like do what you're going to do sticking out so much. So you need to blend in with, the people in whatever you do, okay? This could be a number of different scenarios. It could be at your work. It could be at, let's see, an event. Now, we have to, because there's also another law that we're going to talk about in another video down the road that talks about always be royal in your fashion, dress like a king to be treated like a king. So you need to know when to blend in with people and when to dress more royal in your fashion so that you can stand out. And as I talk to you about this, if you need some more help, go ahead and message me and I'll help you out. We can even get on a call. Now, I'm going to touch more on this when we talk about, dressing royal and acting like a king to be treated like a king, because you first have to respect yourself as a king, then you'll be treated as a king. When I get to that law, I haven't got to it yet, I haven't filmed it yet. So I'll touch on this one when I get to that, okay? So, it's like, you don't always have to blend in, and I want to give you a very good example, because the one I gave was good. It gives you the picture. It allows you to understand, but I feel like I can give you even a better example of blending in with those around you. When you blend in, you're going to be able to go under the radar, okay? When people can see, like, oh, you know what you're doing, you can conceal your intentions better, okay? So it says in the book that your unreadability draws and attracts people to you and makes you appear a person of power. So in the book it talks about kings a lot, It talks about this one story in this character, this guy that would always just say perhaps. He wouldn't say yes, he wouldn't say no. He would always be like perhaps or maybe. So it's always up in the air. People are thinking, okay, he has the power of decision. Maybe he'll do it, maybe he'll allow it, maybe he won't. So your unreadability leads to more power. So in this law, always conceal your intentions. It's broken into two parts. And did I put the other part? So use distraction. So, part 1 and part 2, they're kind of the same thing. Use decoys, use distraction, conceal your tracks. You know what? I actually have, like, this law has been bothering me just because of the way that it's put together. Because I didn't really understand a difference between part 1 and part 2. So I'm just going to tell you the interpretation of it. So there's times you don't want to appear over passionate because it can raise suspicion. Like if you're just, oh, I believe in this so much, like, yeah, it's the best thing ever. People are probably going to be like, okay, this guy is crazy, or you are crazy. Like, he's too over exaggerated, too over passionate. So you need to know when to tone it down. Being measured and believable is going to lead to you flying under the radar, you know. Based on the calculations I've done, this is what we need to do. Using decoys is like giving, and a lot of stories in here are about, like, there's a lot of, like, warfare and stealing and taking advantage of people, okay? You don't need to use these laws to do that, but I'm just saying a lot of the stories in the book are that, you know, like a king puts someone in power, that person flips on them, banishes the king, or kills the king, okay? So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. So when I'm giving the examples of, like, robbing or taking from, it's just because that's the basis that the stories in the book are based on. And it's either warfare or seduction. Basically the same thing. And like I said in a previous video, I'm also reading The Art of Seduction like I have been for the past 4 years, and I'm seeing the commonalities. Like, for example, it talks about seduction in some of these laws of power. And you might think seduction is like the opposite. Well, seduction is the female version of warfare. So it's basically the same thing, just a bit toned down. And we need to use, like Robert Greene says, soft power in today's world. If you're too aggressive, you're too mean, you're too violent, you're not going to get anywhere unless you're like maybe a cartel leader or a mafia leader. Then you just whack everyone and that's that. But if you do that, like in this, like a legal realm, or like just in the friendship realm, you're not going to be liked. You're just going to be an a-hole. So using decoys, like anything can be a decoy, you know. Hey, I presented you this gift. Giving someone a gift, like, here you go, to distract them from trying to steal something they have, or take their woman, or take their money, or take their job position, whatever it is. So you need to be able to use decoys. I hear something. So make every move intrigue so that people will pay attention to you and they'll want to see your next move. So making what you do intriguing is an art form in itself. I'm not going to get too deep into that right now. That will have to be for like a whole nother video, whole nother channel probably. It just says in the book, make sure that you use intrigue. Okay, so when you're doing this, and I wrote down here, when seducing, when selling, when attempting to gain power, when persuading, whatever you want to call it, don't let your target know that you're doing it, okay? And it also says, deep down inside, we often sense we are being seduced, but give in because we enjoy being led on, okay? So even if you're doing your best not to make it obvious what you're doing, people kind of sense like you're up to something. If you go, let's say for example, knock on someone's door and you have a product in your hand, they know that you're attempting to sell them something. But if you're smooth enough, if you make it flow good enough, it will work. They'll buy, okay? The same with seduction. At first, you may be very vague. You may be very indirect, like it suggests in The Art of Seduction. And then you'll go more direct as you get deeper and deeper in. But you need to know the right balance, so the person thinks, oh, what are they up to? Then they might know, okay, I know what they're up to, but they're going to allow it because they love being led. Okay? So you need to really practice that. Practice concealing your intentions. Practice using decoys, using distraction. so that you can master the art of concealing your intentions. Don't let everyone, or if it's one person, your target, see all your cards. Don't let them know everything that you're doing, because it's going to take away from your mystery, it's going to take away from your intrigue. And let's see, one of these, which law is it? It's one of these laws. We'll talk about it soon. It talks about, or I actually might have already talked about it in another video. Can't remember at this point because I just know it. I'm not sure where it came from. It's create an air of mystery to make people, attracted to you. So yeah, with leaving out of this lesson, just practice how you can conceal your intentions. Don't reveal what you're there to do, what you're here to do all the time. You might selectively need to, just because sometimes people get too suspicious. Like, they'll be looking at you and like, oh, what is this person about to do? If you tell them, hey, I'm here to do XYZ, then the suspicion will be gone. So you need to know when to reveal your intentions and when to conceal your intentions. And that is a theme throughout the whole book. The theme is the balance between doing the law and not doing the law. A few of the laws are 100% like do them all the time, okay? And what I feel like I'm going to do is after I film all these videos, I'm going to go through and look at all the laws that have no reversal. So in the book it says reversal, which is like the opposite of the law. And that tells you when to be careful, like when you need to reveal your intentions or when you need to give credit instead of taking credit. I'll go and I'll make a list of those laws that are like, there's no other side, like you have to do these every time, because that's more of like the fundamentals. And then these laws, when you have to balance them out, you have to do them at certain times. This is more of an art form. It's like if you're in a fight, sometimes you need to punch with this hand, sometimes you need to punch with this hand, sometimes you need to throw with this hand. It just depends on the situation. So my goal for you, and for myself, even for us, is to get better at all these little different things we need to do at the right times, and also give you that core fundamental thing that you do all the time, okay? So just remember that this law 3, is to always conceal your intentions. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, get notified, send me a message, share this if you know someone that this will benefit. And also, if you need some one-on-one personal help, I do strategy calls. I can basically upgrade, update your mindset, install these directly into your mind, give you some real specific word tracks, get you on the right path a lot quicker, like the fast track, virtually guaranteed to work almost instantly. So make sure you do that too. And yeah, that was Law 9. Make sure, Law 9, I said that because I'm about to film Law 9. That was Law 3, and make sure you watch all the laws, because I feel like I'm really, really, really giving you like so much more. I'm adding so much more value onto the book and into your mindset.